guys, welcome back to
Swaggy
Science
Students!
Yeah.
Yeah! September 23rd.
It's fall today.
About 11 o'clock, I'd
Second day
say.
of fall.
First
Half
of
this
the-
video is in summer, and now the other half is in
Fall!
fall.
Which means we're one
Fall.
step closer to Christmas.
Okay,
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bell rock.
Okay, we will be talking about water and solutions.
Woo!
So water is covalently bonded. It has 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom.
Kinda looks like Mickey Mouse.
The hydrogen atoms are positively charged and the oxygen is negatively charged. The oxygen is negative because more electrons like to hang out around it. Water is a polar molecule because it has a positive and a negative end like a magnet.
Okay, adhesive is when the hydrogen bonds form with like a surface. So it's like when the water sticks to a surface, which means it's a capillary action.
So, like, if it rains and the top of the tree needs water because their sister's starving for water, the water goes against gravity and it sticks to the inside of the tree to go up.
I'm pretty sure that's cohesive is when water molecules attach to other water molecules. So like when it's raining and you see on your window all the little droplets like connecting to each other, that's because all the water molecules are connecting together. And then water is also a universal solvent, so it'll like be a solvent to many different substances and will dissolve many things in the water.
Homogeneous mixtures are uniform compositions.
Which means they're the same.
Yes. Homogeneous mixture has 2 parts, a solvent and a solute. The solute is what is being dissolved, and the solvent is what is breaking that solute down.
So it's kind of like when you get sick and you take vitamin C and you put it in the water. The water is the solvent and the solute is the vitamin C because it's dissolving in the water.
Or it's kind of like if you put a piece of potato in hydrogen peroxide, and the hydrogen peroxide is the solvent and the potato is the solute because the solute is being broken down by the hydrogen peroxide.
Peroxide.
So heterogeneous mixtures
I had a
have
concussion right
different compositions. Okay, I'm gonna edit that out now. So different types. So there's suspension particles which settle, and there's colloid particles that will not settle. So
What's the example she did in class?
yeah, what was the example?
The,
was like-
on something's jello
sediment.
with sour cream.
Oh, with the Jello. So with
Or cottage
the
cheese.
with the colloid, if it's like Auntie's whatever surprise Jello, it's got floating fruit and cottage cheese. It's not settling to the bottom. But if you put like dirt and water, eventually it'll begin to the dirt will begin to settle at the bottom, and the water
Yes.
will be on top.
Yes.
Perfect example.
Can we switch lanes to this lane now?
Yeah.
Alright, so the pH in buffers is the amount of hydrogen or oxygen and hydrogen ions determines the strength of acid or base. So the pH scale measures the concentration of hydrogen ions.
So if something is lower on the scale, let's say it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, that would be like stomach acid.
Very
and then
acidic.
things are very acidic. Things are like solvents, okay?
But
and
if
then-
it's 6.5 to 7.5, that's pretty average.
Which is pure water.
7 is
And
pure
then
water.
once you get to like 14, it gets pretty neutral. So that's like window cleaner and that kind of stuff.
Now we'll be talking about organic chemistry. Carbon is found in almost all biological molecules. In this, there are macromolecules, which are large organic molecules. There's polymers, which are complex molecules, and there's monomers, which are simple molecules. Now I'll pass it over to my good friend Ellie.
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to be talking about carbs, which carbs are the sugar and starches. They're made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So it's 1, 2, 1. So 1 carbon to 2 hydrogen to 1 oxygen. And it has monosaccharides, which are simple sugars, which an example would be glucose. So it's 6 carbon, 12 hydrogen, 6 oxygen. They also have a 1-to-1 ratio, which I already said.
Oh.
The disaccharides are double sugar, which is an example of sucrose. And then polysaccharides are many sugars, which is an example of glycogen. Glycogen, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
That would be an example of it. Carbs are a quick source of energy for our body, whereas when you get to like the lipids, it's a long term. Aaron's gonna talk about lipids.
Okay, I'm up. So lipids are like fats, waxes, and oils, and lipids are made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So basically, they're the building blocks of fatty acids. So they're long-lasting energy. So if I had peanut butter in the morning, that's gonna last me a longer time, or the energy is gonna last a longer time than, let's say, I had some jelly, because
Jelly has sugar in it.
jelly has sugar in it, and also peanut butter is a fat. Okay, so saturated fat are single bonds, and that is a C atom, and unsaturated is
Double
some
bonds.
double bonds, and polysaturated is many double bonds. So that can be a lot. And now I'm gonna talk about phospholipids, which are special lipids in cell membranes. Interesting knowledge.
Let's switch to, like, can we switch to, like,
And then
Facts.
steroids, which is like, so like more cholesterol and hormones. So like the big bodybuilders that take it, the cholesterol and hormones help grow muscle, and they glow up. Now I'm gonna hand it over to my good friend Anna to talk about
You
proteins.
got yours? Mine got hers too.
We're taking a video.
Sorry.
Proteins are made of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and sulfur. So our group makes over 20 different types of.
Aaron. You can't.
So parts of the 3D structure: the primary, the secondary, the tertiary, and the quaternary.
Just.
The primary is the chain. The secondary is the helix or the plated sheet. The tertiary is the three or the globular, and the quaternary is several proteins combined. I'll be talking about nucleic acids. Nucleic acids are made of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and phosphate. The building block is nucleotides. A nucleotide is nitrogen base with phosphate and carbon. An example would be thymine or adenine. Or types of nucleic acids, DNA and RNA, which contain genetic info. And that's all that we have about that. Alright, we'll see you next time on the Swaggy
Science
Students!